Alrighty, what's up everybody? Peter Gilmore here for another video right here on the Peter Gilmore YouTube wrestling page, youtube.com/Peter Gilmore. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button down below. Alright, everybody, hope everybody had a great Friday, the start of the weekend, start of the holiday travel. Everybody's traveling this weekend to see their loved ones for Christmas Eve and Christmas. And probably New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and all that good stuff. And the last minute shopping, I'm actually doing my last minute shopping. Found a good deal for Mrs. So, I'm not going to get it for Christmas, but it's probably going to come after Christmas. So I'm going to have to just order it. It's going to come after Christmas because I have the money for it, but I'm just waiting for my check to clear so I can actually order it. I'll probably order it Monday or order it on Christmas Eve, so it'll get here by the end of the year. Pretty cheap. I got a pretty cheap deal for it. By the time, if I order it now, it's pretty cheap. But if I order it later, it's gonna like a couple $100. So I don't know. I'll see what I can do. But I get this mane of hair on Monday for my birthday. So yeah, my birthday's in 4 days. So turning another year older. Yeah, wish I had more money, but that's just another story for another time. Because bills are piling up. Just a lot of bills piling up. Getting to Christmas bonus season, so I'm gonna get my bonus. I kind of got my bonus yesterday. I got my check, but I get a bonus after that, so I get a little bit of extra money, so that'd be nice. So I can save that up for my my vacation in the summertime. We'll see what happens with that. And that's it. So like I said, I hope everybody's having a great start to the weekend. Do your last minute shopping, and I know everybody's going to be doing it this weekend, Monday, Tuesday, probably Wednesday. Good thing I don't have to work on my birthday. But I have to work Christmas morning, which sucks. It's time and a half, so money you wish you had. And that's all I got to say about that. There's a lot of concerts coming up next year I really want to go to. I'm going to get my In This Moment tickets. Def Leppard, Poison, Motley Crue coming to Citi Field in August. I want to go to that. I'll be sitting way up, so I'm not going to be sitting down on the field or anything. Because those are like, forget it. I guess, probably be sitting in God's country somewhere in the stands. Unless I can get something good on the field. But see what happens with that. I know Motionless in White's coming to town in January. I'm not going to that. I mean, I do, but I got that. I got WOW in January for the next show, New Beginnings. On January the 18th, I'm going to that with the missus. So we're going to that. Probably going to more WOW shows, maybe Evolve as well during the summertime whenever they come around. I go to another Evolve show. Maybe I'll go to a new wrestling promotion. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I got my vacation in the summertime, so I'm starting to save up. After the next check, I'm gonna start saving up money for that, and I'm gonna save a little bit a month, and then when I go in July, I'm probably going at the end of July. But we shall see what happens with that. Anyway, enough about that bullshit. SmackDown on already. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it later. I'll watch it in between. So I want to do a couple videos and then watch SmackDown, and then I'll do my video on Sunday. Or maybe I do it. I'll do it either tomorrow night or probably tomorrow night or Sunday. Probably Sunday most likely because I'm off Sunday. So I'll do it Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. We'll see what happens with that. So SmackDown from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn tonight. Should be a decent show. We'll see what happens. I know a lot of my buddies in the crew are going. Well, not all of them, but some of them are going. You know, and that's it. All right. As the title below says, on this Friday evening, December the 20th, 2019, it is time for your late and out of date NXT review. For December the 18th, 2019, from Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. And on the USA Network, and that network too. The WWE Network. That fails you every time. That's why I don't have the network, because I don't need the network. I have the USA Network. So NXT, last show of the year, had a big night of action, highlighted by 2 title matches. Shayna Baszler defending against Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's title. And then we had NXT World title, Finn Balor taking on Adam Cole, baby! For that belt, which started the show, and I'll get to that in a second. But NXT was pretty good this past Wednesday night, and the ratings showed for it. They got 760, I think it was 760,000 views, somewhere around there, 790, somewhere around there. It was close to 800,000 views, let's put it that way. They destroyed AEW in the viewership. AEW got 630,000 views, so they got beat by 112,000 views. Ugh. And not to say AEW's Dynamite was bad. It just got destroyed by a better card for NXT and a better show. So NXT went out the end 2019 on a great note. We had a new champion. That later. Had a couple of storyline progressions in there as well. That's leaning towards the next takeover in February. We also got Worlds Collide as well, coming up Royal Rumble weekend. So we got that. Let's get into the show. Let's not waste any more of your precious time that you might be watching SmackDown, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Alright, so we start off the night with the NXT World title, Adam Cole, baby! Boom! Get on Finn Balor, the number 1 contender. This match was freaking awesome to start the show, and AEW tried to counter with the Lucha Bros and against Kenny Omega and Adam Page, even though that was a pretty good match, but this one really brought the house down, and it was freaking epic. They started off with some rest holds and stuff, and then they teased their big moves as they get to the ropes, and then Finn Balor gets the advantage with a dropkick for a near fall, then some more rest holds, some chops, some basement dropkick for a near fall, and starts beating up on Cole for a while, stomping the living crap out of him, and Drake Younger, the referee, had to pull him back about 3 times to disqualify him, but yeah. That would make me. I was like, you must repay the rules. So that's just it. That's why I'm not a referee, but this was. Cole goes out to the outside to gather himself. Balor hits a drop kick, sending him into the barrier. And Balor tried for the penalty kick. Adam Cole super kicks the knee, cutting him off. And started to go to work on Finn Balor with some ground and pound stuff. A snap suplex for a near fall. And then he starts choking him out in the corner. And then go back to work, ground and pound a little bit. Balor tried to fight back, but Cole took out the knee again. We're working on that knee the whole match. And Cole keeps him grounded, targeting the neck now. Balor escapes, Cole mows him down. But Balor kept fighting back. It's the final cut for a near fall. And tries to fight back, and then Cole hits the backstabber for a near fall. Hits an enziguri, then he runs the ropes, but gets hit with a sling blade. Cole comes back with a super kick. as he cut off John Woo! And that gets a near fall. They trade kicks. They trade strikes and some kicks by Adam Cole. Balor hits a Pele kick. That gets a near fall. Golden takes out the knee again, but Balor counters. Cole gets the OG last shot for a near fall. Balor then counters into a standing double stomp. Follows up with John Woo! Then he goes up top looking for the coup de grace. Cole knocks him to the floor. Follows Balor counters the Panama Sunrise. Follows with John Woo! Again. Goes for the coup de grace. It missed. Cole hits the last shot, but that gets 2. Then Cole drops the knee pad looking for the last shot again. Balor cuts him off, hits John Woo! For the 3rd time. Then he hits the coup de grace, looked like he was about to win the belt. Then Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, comes out to distract Finn Balor. That led to Adam Cole hitting a low blow in the nuts. And then he hits the last shot, Balor, in the back of the neck to retain the title, like I knew he was going to do. There was no way Finn Balor was going to win the belt for the 2nd time. And Adam Cole was going to lose the belt right there and then. But a great match. To start the show, 4 out of 5 stars. Crowd was really into it. Both of them brought their A game. And, now the storyline progression with Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano, which is going to lead into their match. Most likely at TakeOver Portland in February. So we'll see what happens with that. And then, get that. And afterwards, Gargano comes to the ring, starts beating the living bejesus out of Balor with the chairs, back shots, stomach shots, sending him into the barrier where the fans were. I feel bad for those fans that were sitting right there. I think one fan got his leg messed up. Oh, it sucks to be him. So it was me and Rosa. I think Rosa would have got hurt most, but that's just me. I would have tried to protect her as best I could, but Not like the time that Michael Elgin came into our laps. Final battle, 2012. Just saying. Michael Elgin owes me a Diet Coke. I know he's not watching, but he owes me a Diet Coke. That's all I gotta say about that. So, 4 out of 5 stars for the match, and then Gargano comes out, beats the crap out of Balor, setting up their eventual feud, and continuing their feud, and eventual match probably at NXT TakeOver Portland coming up in February. And that's that for that. Alright, then we get to our next match. Damian Priest taking on Killian Dane. This match was supposed to happen last week, but Damian Priest suffered a rib injury, so the match couldn't take place. This wasn't a bad match, per se. It was pretty decent for what it was. Dane goes right to work on the injured ribs of Priest, but Killian Dane was working on the ribs the whole match, and he hits a senton, then a splash for a near fall, really working on those ribs. Then he hits a fisherman suplex for a near fall, grounds and pounds him again. Priest trying to fire back, but he runs into a dropkick by Killian Dane. Priest comes back again. Dane attacks the ribs, sends him to the floor. Works him over in the ropes, lays the boot to him, suplexes him back in. Goes for a near fall. Then he goes back to work. Some rest holds, ground and pound. Priest fires back, hits the flatliner. And he's starting to gain momentum with some kicks and some elbows. He hits a corner elbow, followed by a strong suplex. I mean, I don't know how he got him up with those injured ribs, but he got him up and he got him over with that suplex. He heads up top. Dane goes to the floor to recover. And then Priest drops down, follows with a tope. And they go back in. He hits the South of Heaven choke slam for a near fall. Nice Slayer! Dane comes back, hits a dump powerbomb, and then he hits an elbow drop for a near fall. They go in the corner. Dane hits a corner splash for a near fall. Priest comes back with a cyclone kick, but Killian Dane slams him down, follows with a senton. goes to the Vader Bomb. Killian Dane got the knees up. And then he hits the Reckoning to finish off Killian Dane. And a good match. I gave 3.25 out of 5 stars. And, was a good match. So Damian Priest gets his revenge after getting his ribs beaten up. He stood the pressure and the ribs getting beat up again. So he gets the win. I can see these guys fighting again. I think the feud's going to continue on. Probably a third match coming in. Well, I would say a second match coming in the future. We'll see what happens. And that's pretty much it for that. Excuse me. And that's it for that. Alright, then we found out that the Dusty Rhodes, the Big Dream Baby Tag Team Classic will return in 2020. That's nice. Nice to see. We had past winners of the AOP, Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. And then Ricochet and Aleister Black won it last year, as we all know. Then they lost to, I forgot who they lost to, I think the Revival. For the tag team belts. They didn't get the tag team belts, but it is what it is. So that's going to be coming back next year. The teams will be announced on the January 1st edition of NXT, the first NXT of the year, and the first AEW of the year as well. So that'd be something. So we get the Dusty Rhodes thing. AEW's countering against Statlander for the women's title, and also with the possibility of Jon Moxley joining the Inner Circle. So that's going to be a heavy point for AEW on January 1st. And we'll see what NXT has to offer on January the 1st. But we'll get to that when we get to that. And that's pretty much it. So we got that. And we move on from there. Alright, then we get to our next match. Cameron Grimes taking on Kushida. And these two guys have been going at it the last couple weeks. I know Cameron Grimes beating up Kushida in the Performance Center about a week or so ago. And then Kushida coming out, distracting Cameron Grimes in his match, stealing his hat, which he came out with in his match. Match was pretty good. It was a very good match between these two guys. First time I think they fought together. I don't know if they ever fought before. It's also with Kushida in control. Going to work on the arm of Cameron Grimes. And then he locks in an armbar, transitions to a shoulder lock. And he drops back, dumps Grimes to the outside, back in. And he hits a top rope chop. Horse on chop! And Grimes comes back, but Kushida comes back with a drop kick and an inside cradle for a near fall. Grimes cuts him off and hits a collision course that I think that's that flip over. I talk tonight. My freaking throat's killing me. I think that's that 360 crossbody float over thing, whatever it is. Anyway, then he grounds him. Kushida makes the ropes. Grimes keeps him grounded, follows with a clothesline. He works on Kushida for a while. Kushida fights over German suplex, follows with that back handspring kick. And he fires up, hits the cartwheel dropkick, and he'll fall. He goes back to work on the arm. Grimes makes the ropes again. And then Kushida dropkicks the arm, Grimes, counters the hoverboard lock into a side effect for a near fall. Then he Kushida hits a flatliner into the turnbuckle, hits a German suplex, but Grimes counters and hits the deadlift German for a near fall. Kushida fights back, comes Grimes to the outside, hits a cannonball off the top to the floor. They go back in, Kushida hits an enziguri, then some rolling kicks. They go up top again. Then Kushida hits Back to the Future, the wheelbarrow driver for a near fall. They go back and forth, working some counters. Grimes then hits the cave-in, double stomp, picking up the win. And gets his revenge, gets his hat back. So, we'll see what happens. This feud is going to continue on. I see another match in their future with two guys who could go after the Cruiserweight belt. They might go after the North American title. Who knows? But we'll see what plans the WWE has for these two guys in 2020. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And that's it. there wasn't that many segments on the show. I mean, we see Rhea Ripley getting ready. We see Shayna Baszler coming into Full Sail University with Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir. We see that, and then them getting ready. Get a Worlds Collide video package, highlighting the Worlds Collide event, not pay-per-view, event, coming up in a couple weeks. I get that. But most of it was just straight wrestling. AEW did, like, about a week ago, straight wrestling, not that many segments. And a lot of people giving AEW grief. They're saying that the Elite can't cut promos. They're destroying AEW. I don't know what the hell you guys are watching. I don't think the Elite is... I mean, I'm gonna do a rant video about these stupid AEW haters that don't know anything about the product. They're just making up assumptions and all the bull crap. Oh, AEW just got beat in the ratings. What are you gonna do? Promotion is not even... The TV show's not even a year old. The promotion itself has been a year old. A little over a year old. And people are complaining. Give it a chance, goddammit. They're going into year 2. No, we got AEW Revolution on February the 29th. The TV show is continuing to, the matches itself, some are good, some are bad, Mostly they're all tag matches. With the Bucks involved, with SCU involved, the Lucha Brothers, and Hangman Page and Kenny. We got a lot of stuff going on. Let's put it that way. But I'll get to that later, and that's all I gotta say about that. Alright, next match. My sexy, hot third wife, Io Shirai. You all know my first wife is Mio Abe. Huh! Mio Abe. Yeah. And Peter as well in New Japan. Oh my god, her ass is so hot. Oh my. If you haven't seen Mio and Peter the Bullet Club Bunny, oh boy, you are missing out. That'll make you stand at attention for a while. I'm just saying. They can get the D, if you know what I mean. Anyway, let's get to the next match. Io Shirai taking on Santana Garrett. Was an okay match. Went 4 minutes. 4 minutes for Io Shirai. I mean, come on now. I mean, Santana Garrett in herself is great and all. Champion in multiple promotions. Going 4 minutes. I kind of question this. I know it might have been filler. But, anyway, they lock up, and Io Shirai basically beat the crap out of her. And Garrett, got a couple moves in. Got the cradle for a near fall. It's just a Russian leg sweep for a near fall. Then hits a back handspring elbow and a Muda lock, which Io fought out of and escapes. Then Io hits the double knees and then puts her away with that picture perfect moonsault of hers. And she gets the win. Match was alright. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And Santana Garrett, this is her second match in NXT. She had that match last week against Tanara Conti. She kind of looked sloppy in. But she was pretty decent in the ring in her second match. You might see more from Santana Garrett. And really need some women in that division since Shayna Baszler might be leaving. They need women to against the champion, whether it be Shayna or Rhea Ripley. So they need some contenders. And always have Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, Tegan Nox, Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, Candice LeRae. I gotta have some other competitors, I gotta have a Tanara Conti, a Santana Garrett, a Leah, Vanessa Bourne, people like that. And you throw in a couple of people in there too that could possibly go for the NXT Women's title. I'm just saying. So match was alright. Like I said, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. And I went down on my notes a little bit. And yeah, so we got that. And we're gonna move on from there. And that's pretty much it for that match. Alright, then we get to Pete Dunne and Travis Banks. Two guys from NXT UK doing battle. We saw Travis Banks last week against Gunner Jackson Riker. And he had a pretty good showing for himself. Got the win. Pete Dunne, we all know as the Bruiserweight, the longest reigning NXT UK champion of all time. Now, Walter has the belt, and he's held the belt for a little while. See what happens with that. These two guys put on a show. This was a great match. I actually love this match. Nice preview for Worlds Collide. But like I said, great match. Nice 10, almost 11-minute match. But it was great. They lock up, counter each other, and Dunne grounds things, craves them up for a near fall. And then Travis Banks counters into a clutch hold for a near fall. Falls over some kicks. Dunne lights him up some body shots and stomps on the hands. They go to the floor. Dunne X-plexes him to the apron. Ow. Then he starts working on the hand and arm of Travis Banks. Then he starts attacking the knee. Keeps things grounded a little bit, focusing on the knee. He drop kicks the knee. Banks fires up, but Dunne tripped him up, fouls with some drop kicks and a cannonball. Banks comes back, hits a suicide dive. And then he heads up top, hits a missile drop kick, and then a double stomp for a near fall. Also goes for a slice of heaven, but Dunne counters it and hits an X-plex for a near fall. Banks comes back with an enziguri. They work up top. And Dunne counters the sunset flip bomb. And goes for the bitter end that's counted into a DDT. Dunne counters slice of heaven again. Hits the curb stomp. And then Banks counters the Kiwi Crusher for a near fall. Then they go back and forth working some counters. And Dunne hits an avalanche X-plex. And then hits the bitter end to finish it off. So, pretty good match. I gave 3.25 out of 5 stars. Like I said, a good way to showcase them. And the Worlds Collide pay-per-view. I would assume Pete Dunne's going to fight somebody from NXT. I don't know who. Travis Banks is going to fight somebody. Chris Hero's going to fight somebody. Walter's going to fight somebody. Maybe Walter fights Adam Cole. Oh boy, I feel bad for Adam Cole. Oh boy. I don't think they ever fought before. I might be wrong on that. I don't know if they ever fought before in PWG. But I know Walter's been in PWG. He was former champion in PWG. Cole, we know as former PWG champion. Among other people that have been in PWG, like the Bucks, like Pac. I don't think Kenny's been in there. No, other people that have been in SCU has been in there, and PWG. Blah, 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 blah. That's pretty much all I got to say. So 3.25 for the match. Great match to showcase the guys. We'll see what happens with that, and we move on from there. Alright, then we get to an actual segment on the show. Kathy Kelly interviews Dakota Kai. She asked her about Mia Yim putting her through a table last week and almost killing her. Dakota Kai says all that matters is that she won, and she's coming for the NXT Women's title. So, that might be your new number 1 contender right there. Dakota Kai, facing either Shayna Baszler or Rhea Ripley. So, we'll see what happens with that. And we shall on from there. And that's pretty much it. Alright, then we found out, I don't know if this is this coming Wednesday night. On my notes, I wrote next week. I think they said next week, so they might be a Christmas show next week. I don't know. It's a tape show. I don't know. But I assume it's going to be a taped show because it's Christmas, so it's not a live show because they're not going to wrestle on Christmas. Not even AEW's not even doing a show, so I assume this is probably going to be like they taped these after the show this past Wednesday night or before the show, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, supposedly, don't quote me on this, but next week, this coming week, Roger Strong's going to issue an open challenge. See who answers the call with that one. And then we got Lio Rush and Keith Lee versus Tony Nese and Damian Priest. That's an actual interesting combination. Lio Rush and Keith Lee and Tony Nese and Damian Priest. Should be a decent match. We'll see what happens with that. And yeah, so that's coming up, I guess, this week on the USA Network. So check your local listings if NXT's on Wednesday night. I'll check it on Monday night. But we'll see what happens with that. And that's it. Alright, then we get to the main event. The NXT Women's title. The champion, the most dominant women's champion in NXT history, Shayna Baszler, taking on the number one contender, Rhea Ripley. You know, these girls have been going at it the last couple weeks. You know, Shayna getting the measure of advantage, the momentum going for her. I think a week or so ago, by choking out Rhea. You know, Rhea getting her momentum at War Games by her team winning. And I think she beat Shayna at the end. We'll see what happens with that. So, excuse me. So they get to the match, and Shayna looked to attack the arm. She grounds and pounds her for a little bit, but Rhea counters the stomp, backs Shayna off. Shayna slaps her in the mouth. Rhea got pissed off and attacked her. Shayna goes to the floor to take a little respite and stuns her off the ropes. They go back in. Shayna hits some kicks and ground and pound moves as well. Rhea counters, but Shayna follows with a clothesline. Back to work in some rest holds. Shayna starts to focus on the arm, keeping Ripley grounded. Shayna goes for a charge. Rhea moves out of the way, follows with some knee strikes until Shayna trips her up. They go back and forth, and then Rhea hits a drop kick. They go up top. Rhea hits a superplex for a near fall. Shayna comes back, but Rhea hits a German suplex as we see Jessamyn Duke and Maria Shafir come down for the distraction to help out Shayna. That didn't work. Rhea fights him off, hits the cannonball from the apron, but Shayna attacked her. She stomps Ripley's arm off the steps. Ow! And brings her back in. She lays in kicks and attacks the arm. Rhea rolls to the floor as we go to break. We come back. Shayna's still in control, working over the arm. Stomps away at it, falls with some kicks to the arm. And then Rhea came back with some kicks and some strikes. She hits a drop kick, which knocked Shayna into the referee, so we got a good old ref bump. Then Rhea hits Riptide, but there's no referee. So she sends Shayna to the floor. She goes for a cannonball, it missed, and Shayna attacks her on the floor. She gets a chair and DDTs Ripley onto it and gets a near fall out of that. Then she knocks to the Cure for the clutch, but Ripley counters only for Shayna to get it again. Rhea powered up, but Shayna pulls her away from the ropes. Rhea fights back. Rolls, but then starts fading. But she fights back, and then fades, but stops the arm from dropping. She powers up and out, and stomps the living bejesus out of Shayna. Then she locks in the inverted cloverleaf. Shayna escaped, hits a knee strike. Then they go up top. Shayna starts talking smack to Rhea, saying it's over. Then Rhea fires up and hits an avalanche Riptide off the top rope. It was pretty impressive. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. We have a new NXT Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley. I called it months ago, so very horrorous myself on that one. Thank you all very much for that, because I called it. And she gets the win, becomes the new champion, and Shayna Baszler's long, almost 2-year reign has come to an end. I do see a rematch between these two. maybe at Takeover Portland. I think Shayna's gonna finish up her NXT dates, and I would not be surprised if she is in the Women's Royal Rumble and wins the Royal Rumble, because there's rumors saying that Becky Lynch will defend the Raw Women's title against Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania 36 in Tampa, and they might give it to Shayna Baszler. I think she would get it. I think she's gonna be on Raw, which sucks. I'd rather have her on SmackDown going after the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley, but because I think Shayna will kick the shit out of Bayley. That's just me, but they want to go with Becky, going undefeated all the way up to WrestleMania. Shayna wins the Royal Rumble, comes out on Raw the next night, challenges Becky for the belt, and they have like a 2-month reign, 2-month thing going on from Fastlane going into the Elimination Chamber, going into WrestleMania. But then again, you're going to have Shayna get the rematch at NXT TakeOver, loses that match, and then gets called up to the main roster, appears on Raw, beats up Becky, and then that leads to the feud going all the way to WrestleMania. But we'll see what happens with that. But a great match. Probably one of the best women's matches of the year that I've seen. And there was a lot of women's matches in NXT. The women's War Games match was very good. Not great, but I think it was good. Probably about a 3.5, 4-star match. This match I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars. I was gonna give it 4, but it didn't have much. It had some oomph, but not oomph. Like epic level, 5 stars level. But it was pretty good. Pretty good match. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Rhea Ripley gets the belt, and we'll see what happens with her into the new year as she begins her reign. And, a great year and a half or so for Shayna Baszler. She beat everybody from Mia Yim to Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, Ember Moon. You name it, she beat her. She beat Becky Lynch and Bayley at Survivor Series. Sky's the limit for Shayna Baszler on the main roster. I just hope they use her correctly and make her like a dominant freaking champion when she wins that Raw Women's Champion from Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, if it happens, which I think it will. I hope she's a dominant champion. She holds the belt for a very long time. Like, let her hold the belt for as long as Becky's held the belt so far. Becky's held it since April, so it's about 8 months. Becky. She's going to hold it for almost a year. Just about a year for Becky Lynch and that Raw Women's title. But eventually, all the good things must come to an end, and Becky Lynch is going to lose that belt at WrestleMania to Shayna Baszler. That's the only person that can beat her right now. It's not going to be Asuka at the Royal Rumble. Asuka and Kairi Sane are going to be probably gone by the time WrestleMania season comes up. If not after WrestleMania. And they're probably going back to Japan, because I doubt very much they're going to AEW. Even though I would love for them to go to AEW. Maybe have a nice good match with Rio. And Britt Baker, Chris Statlander. Maybe Awesome Kong here and there. Maybe Brandy. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But this match was great. Nice swan song for Shayna Baszler. And I do see her getting a rematch, but I think at NXT TakeOver Portland, I think that'll be probably her last match in NXT, not in WWE, but in NXT. Because I think her first match on the main roster will be the Women's Royal Rumble. Official match. She'll be in the Royal Rumble, not her official first match, because that'll probably be later on. Probably by WrestleMania time, that'll be her first match. Or she might have some warm-up matches to go. She'll probably face somebody like Naomi or Natalya. Somebody on the Raw roster. Eventually she'll get Asuka. She'll probably fight Asuka. That'll be a great match. Kairi Sane, another great match that could happen. And you could throw maybe Alexa Bliss in there, maybe Nikki Cross in there. Might have some good matches with them. We'll see. Afterwards, Rhea gets a he goes into the crowd, starts celebrating with the crowd, and then most of the crowd comes into the ring and celebrates with her. Some of the roster comes out. Well, they fill up the ring. Surprisingly, it didn't break. Like that time in ECW. I forgot who won the belt, and then the ring broke. That was pretty funny, but it is what it is. You know, if I was at Full Sail University, I would be the first one up there too. You know, I would have loved it when Kevin Steen won the belt, but I was all the way in Canada. I'm not going to Canada. You know, I would have loved for when Kevin Steen won the world title back in 2011, early 2012, I think was. I would have loved to have been in Canada for that when he beat Davey Richards for the belt. I wish I was in Canada. I would have had a nice big celebration with him. But it is what it is. But maybe when he wins either the Universal title or the WWE title, they really need to give it to him. Get rid of this stupid feud with him and Seth Rollins. Let him go for the WWE title or go for the Universal title. I think you should go for the WWE title. Who has it? That Brock has. Let him go against Brock at WrestleMania. We have Kevin Steen, or Kevin Owens, I should say, win the Royal Rumble, face off against Brock at WrestleMania, beat Brock, get the WWE title, let him hold it for about 6 months. But they're not going to do that because, you know, they ruin everybody from NXT. And that's why I fear for Shayna Baszler. Because after this thing with Becky, you know, who's she going to fight? That's going to be worthy of a good match. Not going to be Natalya. I'm thinking it's going to be Asuka. That's the only person I can think of. Asuka or Kairi Sane before they leave. That's the only people that will be worthy to face Shayna if she gets the Raw Women's title. That's it. Anybody else, I don't give two shits about. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So, excuse me. So that is it for your NXT review. I gave it 8 out of 10 stars. It was a very good show, and the rating showed for it. But NXT had a pretty good run this year from when they started in early September up to now. I think they beat AEW I think 4 times that in the 12 weeks they were facing each other. I think it was AEW 8, NXT 4, 5, so around there. So I went back and forth throughout the year. We'll get more in 2020 when we begin on January the 1st. 2 shows. But we'll see what happens with the ratings as we go into 2020 and beyond with NXT and AEW. That's pretty much it. So, thank you for watching my NXT reviews throughout the year and my AEW reviews as well throughout the year. We got a couple of SmackDown and Raws coming up to the end of the year. So, got SmackDown tonight, and we got Raw this coming Monday night, which is taped because it's a Christmas show. And we got SmackDown next Friday night, December the 27th. That's the end of the year edition for SmackDown. And then we got the New Year's Eve edition of the pre-New Year's Eve edition of Monday Night Raw on December the 30th with Lana and Rusev's wedding. Blah, blah, blah. That's going to get ruined by Rusev. We all know that. And that's going to end the year for the WWE. Ring of Honor's year is ended already with Final Battle. New Japan is, I think, the final day of the road to the Tokyo Dome event. I think it's tonight, the last night, or tomorrow. It's tonight. Looks like it's tonight. So we're going to get that. And then we get ready for Wrestle Kingdom Night 1 and 2. January the 4th and January the 5th. And then New Year's Dash, January the 6th. So those 3 days are going to be epic. You know, with New Japan starting off the year on a big note. I really think those matches for the card, Okada and Ibushi, that's going to be a match of the year candidate. Hiromu and Will Ospreay, definite match of the year candidate for 2020. You got Jon Moxley and Lance Archer in a death match for the United States title. Oh, that's gonna be brutal. You got who else? Got Tanahashi and Jericho. Could be a good match. I don't think it's gonna be a great match, but it'll be a good match. I think Jericho put over Tanahashi like he did with Naito. After he winning the belt from Naito and then losing it to Naito. So we got that. So, and then TNA, is ending the year with I think they I don't know if they're doing a show on my birthday, but I would assume I think the next 2 weeks they're gonna be taped shows because they already taped in advance. So they're gonna have shows on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So if you want to watch them, go ahead. I'm probably not gonna watch them. I really don't care. So they're ending the year. They had a pretty good year. They're going to start the year off with Hard to Kill on January the 12th or the 14th, I think. So we got that. And the Royal Rumble end of January. On January the 26th, which is the Pro Bowl for all you football fans. Go Niners, by the way, tomorrow night. Hopefully they win. Praying they win. Me and my supervisor are going to have a dog fight tomorrow night before I leave work. I'll probably catch the first quarter before I leave. Because we have a small TV, but we don't have like the NFL Network or any of that. We have a small TV in the break room. So no. But he has his phone. He's gonna let me know. I'm gonna ask him a couple of times what the score is before I leave, and then when I get home, I'm probably gonna catch the end of the game, and hopefully the Niners win, and they win against Seattle next Sunday at the end of the season. Get that number 1 seed and home field advantage, so they don't have to get the wild card and face Eagles or the Cowboys on the road. That could be a dangerous game. And then the winner faces either the Saints or the Packers on the road in January in Green Bay, which will not be good, especially if it snows there. Oh boy, that's advantage Packers because they do so well during December and January in the playoffs when it's cold weather. And Aaron Rodgers is so good in cold weather games. So it's gonna be a tough game if Packers get to the second round. Because I don't know what seed they're gonna be right now. Right now, I think they're the 3rd seed. Seattle has the 1st seed. Because of the well, not because of the record, because of the division record and the strength of schedule. I think something stupid like that. So Seattle has to lose either the last 2 games or lose one of the last 2 games. When they lose both of them, but I think Seattle's facing Arizona this weekend. So I think it's going to come down to this weekend. If the Niners lose, they're automatically in the wild card game. No, the week after next. Maybe facing the Eagles or the Cowboys. We'll see. So. Now, I would love to have home field because we do so good at home, even though we lost twice at home this year to the Falcons and to the Seahawks. But I still believe that the Niners will get to the Super Bowl. I really do believe that because they have the best defense in the world. They gave the Saints like 39 points, something like 40-something points that game. That exposed that game. Sucks. We have injuries and everything, but we're getting a couple of players back. Sherman's coming back this Saturday, tomorrow night. A couple other guys are coming back. I think Kittle will have a good game. Jimmy G will have a good game. And we beat the Rams in LA earlier in the season. Now we're at home in our house. It'll be a great game. All the faithful are going to be there. And that's going to be a good game tomorrow night. Hopefully the Niners win. And we hope that Sunday Arizona beats the Seahawks. And we get back the number 1 seed. And then all comes down to next Sunday in Seattle in the Legion of Boom. It's going to be a really tough game. We never do well in Seattle. We never do well in Seattle. But we shall see what happens with that. So we have that. So all in all, thank you for watching. Once again, 8 out of 10 stars for NXT. The end of the year, great show. The ratings show for it. They beat AEW handily in the ratings. And we'll see what happens in 2020 for NXT and AEW. And that's all I got to say about it. So if you have any questions, put it down below in the comment section of this video. Or hit me up via Twitter. My Twitter link, which is down below in the description box, where you can subscribe to this channel and all my other channels as well. Friend me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter, like I said. And hit that notification bell. Turn it on. And you get notified of when my videos go up. You can leave your questions, comments, your thoughts, anything you want, and have a nice little discussion, and hopefully a Q&A coming, hopefully by the end of this year or early next year, but we'll see what happens with that. So, that's it. Thanks for watching. I got my rant coming up in a little bit, and then I'm going to watch SmackDown, and probably give you my SmackDown review on Sunday, and that's all I got to say about that. So, thank you for watching. I'm Peter Gilman signing off. Peace out. Rock on, and if you're not down with that, that's too damn bad. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So thank you for watching. I'm out. Peace! Bitches.